Hello, I'm David Magone. This practice will be a short form, full body, gentle yoga practice. You'll basically just need a yoga mat and a space on the floor to get rolling. So when you're ready, set that up. Find your way to a seated cross legged position of some type. And whenever you finally settled in, just close your eyes and redirect focus to your breath. Take a few moments to pay close attention to your inhaling and your exhaling. Lift your right hand up to your face. Place the tip of your index and middle finger directly between your eyebrows. Breathe all the way in. Then breathe all the way out. Use your thumb to block the right nostril and inhale left. Ring finger to left, exhale right. Block the right side, inhale left. Block the left, exhale right. Again, breathe in left. Exhale right. Keep the left side blocked. Inhale right. Block the right and exhale left. Inhale right side. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Drop your hand to your lap. Breathe all the way in. And then breathe all the way out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale the remainder. Breathe normally, and once again, pay attention to your inhale and your exhale. Join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Think of someone you'd like to dedicate today's practice to, and mentally send your person some good energy. When you're ready, open your eyes, and we'll start out laying belly down on the floor. So go ahead and shift yourself into that position when you're ready. Now today we're going to start out with a stretch for your inner thigh muscles. So initially prop yourself up on your elbows, and then draw your right knee up to approximately hip height, and take your ankle out to the side and let the inner border of your foot rest on the floor. Once you've done that, check into your leg, and if you're getting way too much stretch, know that you can always modify a little bit by sliding your knee down toward the back of your mat just a little bit. Otherwise, for the deepest stretch, try to keep your knee at approximately pant pocket height. Now for the next few moments, just press your elbows down into the earth. Let your shoulders glide down away from your ears toward your belt. And as you press your elbows into the floor, come up to just a gentle back bend. Nothing too crazy, but just enough to keep your chest elevated. Once you've settled into that back bend, just close your eyes for the next few moments and focus inward on your body. Use that concentration to become present, very aware of everything that's happening in the room and in your body right now. It's okay to have thoughts playing in the background, but try not to interact with those thoughts. Instead, just let them come and go as you focus on your body. If you find yourself stepping forward into the future or backward into the past, just notice that you've drifted and redirect. And then the second side. Lower your chest just slightly and slide your right leg back. And position your left leg just as you did on the other side. And take a look at your knee and make sure you lift the left one up to approximately hip height. Make sure you're on the inner border of your left foot with the toes turned out. And aside from that, the right leg just remains straight. Press your elbows down into the ground to lift up through your chest. And as you do that, you may well feel a little bit more stretch in your inner thigh. It's a great multitasking posture because you're also getting flexibility in your spine. And close your eyes once more and just focus in on the sensation of stretch. Well, that helps me a lot. My mind tends to wander off in a million different directions, and sometimes it's hard for me to be present. Physical sensation, for me, is one of the best ways to sort of hone in on everything that's going on in the present moment. So see if you can use that in a similar way. Just focus on the stretch that you're doing. Every time you wander forward mentally or backward into your past, just notice and redirect to the present. That in and of itself definitely has a calming effect after a while. Continuously press your elbows down into the floor to elevate your collarbones. Feel the flow of your inhale and exhale flowing in and out of your lungs. Then lower your chest just slightly and straighten both legs. Plant your hands down under your shoulders. Press backwards to a full seated position. Now I'm just going to resituate and face the camera so it's easier for you to see this next part. But for now, if you will, straighten both legs forward and cross your right knee over top of left. I'm doing my left so it looks like we're doing the same thing. Once you've got that done, lean over to the side and draw your other foot back near your hip. Now, if it's not possible to take both legs back, just keep your bottom leg straight. But press your right knee over to the side a little bit so your knees come closer to stacking. Sometimes you'll find that lifts your hip off the floor on the right side, so just use your hand to press it back down toward the earth. Then holding onto your feet, sit up tall for just a little bit, close your eyes, and focus on your body and your breathing. This particular posture is called the cow face pose. It's a very old meditation posture. It's pretty great because the leg position makes it really easy to keep your spinal column straight. I'm already feeling some stretch while there, but if you want more stretch, just forward lean while maintaining your spinal column's length. At some point, once you find a space that resists, just sort of hold there and breathe into the space that's resistant. Just like before, note when your mind wanders elsewhere. Every time that happens, just use your body to capture your concentration. Focus on the intensity of the stretch. Next, lift your chest to come all the way back up, and then switch legs. Cross your left leg over top of right. Press your knees together initially. Feel free to keep this bottom one straight if it's helpful, or draw the other foot back. And once you've done that, press your knees just a bit closer together. Your knees don't have to stack, but you want to get as close to it as possible. Ground your left sitting bone into the floor. You can even use your hand to sort of press down there if it helps. Sit up nice and tall for the next few moments. Close your eyes and redirect your focus to your breath. And some days it just feels great to stay in that initial position. Other times it's nice to take a bit of a forward lean. So just go with whatever you did on the previous side. Once you find the appropriate degree of stretch for you, just hold there and keep breathing. If your body loosens up, give yourself just a little tiny bit more forward lean to take up the slack. Next time you inhale, come all the way back up and unfurl your legs completely. Now next we're going to stretch your hip flexors. So come to a 4-pointed kneeling position with your hands near the front of your mat. Once you've done that, lunge your left foot all the way forward. Slide your rearmost knee back just a little bit further until your knee is well behind the hip. And from there, take your hand all the way down to the floor, the right hand. Lift your hips just a little tiny bit. And then take up slack by letting your hips descend down toward the floor. Now try to keep your left knee stacked right above the ankle beneath. Sort of press it in toward your midline. As you do that, rotate your spinal column off to the left and just allow your hips to continue their sinking. There's a lot of sensation to focus on in this posture, so just use that sensation to maintain presence of mind again. Maintaining presence of mind is completely different than forcing your thoughts to stop. It's okay for thoughts to be playing in the background. Just try not to interact, and instead stay focused on the posture at hand. Sometimes it's going to be a little tiring for the right arm, but we're just about through, so just try to hold there, continuously sliding your shoulder blade away from your ear toward the belt. And then straighten out your leg in the front. Move back to your 4-pointed kneeling stance. And once you've done that, swing your other leg all the way forward, whichever one you've not done thus far. There are a number of different stances for a lunge, but today, deepen your stance by sliding your left leg progressively further back until your knee is well behind the hip. Take your left hand down to the floor. And as you twist, sometimes your body will try to avoid the stretch by tilting your knee to the outside of your mat. So try to use your right hand to press it to a vertical position so the knee is right above the ankle. And then once you've got that, twist your whole entire torso to your right and let your hips continue to sink. Note any differences between one side and the other side, and breathe into the spaces that are resistant. All the while, let your hips continue being heavy so you get some stretch in the back of your right leg and the front of your left thigh. If you find your shoulder starts to slide up around your ear, try to slide your left shoulder blade down away from your ear towards your hips. Just a few more breaths while there. Try to maintain your twist. And then lift your hips and slide them back. Move slowly back toward your 4-pointed kneeling position. Roll all the way over and extend both legs straight. Once again, I will face toward the camera so that it's easier to see the posture at hand. Now this time, cross your right ankle over your left leg. You can place your right foot just outside your left knee. Slide your hip on the right side backward a little bit to take your pelvis out of square. Rotate your belly around the leg. If you like, you can hold it in place with your hands, though if you can reach, you can always wrap your elbow around the knee. It's also possible to hook your arm all the way over the leg, so choose one of those three. And for now, sit up just a little taller. Rotating your torso off to the right, gaze backward over your shoulder, and again breathe. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out as you continue to hold. Next time you inhale, release, and then switch for the same on the other side. Cross your left ankle all the way over. Wrap your right arm around, or hold the knee in place with your hand, or cross the elbow over. Now it's the smallest shift, but if you slide your left hip back, it will protect your lower back. So slide your left hip back just a little tiny bit so your hips are no longer square. Sit up as tall as you're able without back bending. Rotate your torso left and gaze straight back over your shoulder. Sometimes it's helpful to elongate upward with your inhales and to twist deeper with your exhales. But don't feel as though you need to continuously grow in the posture. Use your breathing to bump up against an edge where you feel resistance, and just sort of hang out there to maintain the range of motion that you've got. If you maintain without trying to force anything deeper, sometimes the resistance will release and you'll naturally flow deeper with no force or strain. If you don't get released, that's okay as well, because you're still maintaining a wonderful range of motion. All right, for now, release the twist. Now, this next posture is a side bend, so just cross your legs in the front. It doesn't really matter which leg goes in front. But thereafter, walk your right hand all the way over to the side. Reach your left arm straight upward in the air. And as you side bend to your right, reach your arm all the way over your head. Just trying to create a big C-like curve through your spine. So press your right hand out into the earth to increase the side bend. Reach strongly through your left fingertips. I usually like to look at the floor with this one, but if you like to look forward or upward, that's okay as well. Just do whatever feels the most comfortable with your neck. If you're having a hard time straightening out your left arm, know that that's okay because you'll still get plenty of stretch. But sometimes if you take your arm a little higher up and stretch through your fingertips, you'll get some elongation. Use your next inhale to come all the way up. Leaning over to the side, plant your left hand on the floor, but try to maintain your sitting bones contact against the earth. Consciously tilt your left shoulder down toward the ground to side bend. Reach your right arm all the way over your ear to extend. Like before, gaze either down, sideways, or up, whatever's going to feel the best with your neck. And continuously reach long through your right fingertips. Lots and lots of breath. And try to keep sliding your left shoulder blade down to maintain a really long neck. Use an inhale to come all the way up. Now for this final posture, slide both legs all the way straight. And bend your legs just enough to place your feet flat on the ground. Once you've done that, drop your knees all the way out to your sides and make sure that your heels are not close to your hips. This isn't like the one you do in gym class. In this particular stretch, you want your heels to be about 3 feet ahead of your hips. Now, that placement doesn't have to be perfect, but just imagine that you've created a pillow of your feet. For now, walk your hands forward and grab the feet themselves. If you have any problems in your lower back or the rest of your spine, do this one with a really long back and a slight forward lean. Now, if you feel okay about it and you want to go deeper, then slide your hands underneath your ankles and just plant your hands on the top of the feet. From that position there, allow a very gentle rounding of your spine by drawing your chin in toward your chest. On this one, you don't want to pull, you don't want to force, you don't want to strain. Just try to be relaxed and still. Feel free to stay higher up like I am. Even higher still by really lifting your collarbones to elongate the spine if that's best for you. Or if you're feeling a little more flexibility today, continue on with your forward folding. With practice, it's possible that your forehead will come down to touch the heels below. This one really responds well to big inhales and exhales. So see if you can expand your breath as you hold. Every time your mind wanders elsewhere, notice and then redirect again. Use an inhale to sit all the way up. Crisscross your legs in the front. And then rotate your spinal column to your left. Slide your left hip just a little further back. Rotate your torso and gaze backward over your shoulder. A twist is always a simple way to release some tension from your back muscles after forward folding or back bending for a bit. Release the twist on that side and repeat on the other. Slide your right sitting bone back so your hips are not square, and then rotate into the twist. Release the twist on that side. Square your hips forward, then let your hands rest on your lap again. Close your eyes and redirect your focus to your breath. For the final few moments while here, just pay really close attention to your inhaling and your exhaling. If your mind is wandered, redirect to the breath. Join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Remember the person you dedicated your practice to, either pray for or wish for their happiness and their health. Take a moment to be grateful for another day. And if you wish, repeat aloud after me. May all sentient beings everywhere experience peace.